let's get to it. Obviously, the big news in the NFL continues to be the Deshaun Watson suspension. And I don't know whether to call it a suspension because we know it's not final. As someone that I have known in the NFL for a long time texted me yesterday out of the blue unprompted, I don't think this Watson thing is even close to being over. And I kind of agree with that.
Yeah.
I'll be surprised if the NFL doesn't exercise its prerogative to appeal this decision to the NFL.
Yeah.
And I'll be surprised. After reviewing, I didn't think we were going to get it. Kudos to the NFL, because I think they were trying to brush it under the rug. I think they were hoping that there wouldn't be a hue and a cry for transparency. But I went on SiriusXM NFL Radio just after our show ended yesterday, and Solomon Wilcott said, well, what's your assessment of the decision? I said, Solomon, I can't have an assessment because I got to see why she did what she did. Until we see the actual decision, we don't know where 6 came from. We don't know if she had some wheel in her office. We don't know where she came up with 6, why she came up with 6, how she came up with 6, and what she concluded. So I spent a lot of time yesterday reading it, trying to make sense of it,
right,
and trying to understand why we got to where we are. And this is what's important,
right?
Based upon what's in there.
Yes, to me. Yes.
How difficult or easy will it be for the commissioner to say 6, no, 12, 17? And that's my big takeaway, Chris, and anyone else who's listening, and thank you if you are. The way this thing's written, there's enough there for the commissioner.
It doesn't read
say,
like 6 games. I know that.
To say I can do a lot more. You have found, as a factual matter, enough to let me say I'm doing 17 if I want to do 17.
I agree. I mean, to me, and Mike, I know you've read this more thoroughly than I have, but I did go through it a little bit and, had some spots highlighted for sure. And that was the first thing I texted, our producers last night, because I don't want to always text you and part of the group and then we ruin our conversation here on live TV. But that was the thing that I took away from it more than anything. That it did not read like a 6-game suspension, and there was some language in there that is pretty strong towards Deshaun Watson that doesn't lend itself to 6-game suspensions either. So that's where I'm with you and whoever that unnamed friend was that called you from the NFL, that I don't think this is over, and it just doesn't seem like it matches up. When you hear basically lie, sexual predator, showing no remorse for the actions you did. I mean, when you just get through some of those parts of it right there, you go, wait, this has ended up being a 6-game suspension? And that's where I guess I'm a little confused by it, and that's where I guess I get to the point of, like what you're saying, that the NFL is going to swoop in here, and I expect them to add more games to this Deshaun Watson suspension.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.